Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
Let's head out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Someone that he used to be on his coaching staff.
Well, actually, Coach Saban was on his staff.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to convey. Coach Jerry Glanville. What do you say, Coach? How are you?
Dang, I thought you had me a new job.
Nick hasn't called you?
It's kind of funny. He must have lost my phone number. I haven't heard from him for a while. I think he's probably doing pretty good without me.
He's hanging in there, Coach. How have you been?
Well, we had a bad thing happen down there in Mobile, which you probably all saw. We had real good football players, real good football team, and the financial situation didn't go through, and we folded financially before we ever played our first game. And I had unbelievable players. His best players I've had in the XFL, the CFL, the USFL, and all those poor kids. We were locked out of my room. You'll die laughing. And they said, we'll let you into the room to get your stuff, but everybody's got to pay $700 to get their stuff. And I said, you don't know me very well. I got 2 pair of pants in there and 3 T-shirts, and for $700, you can keep it.
That's crazy.
But I really liked Mobile. The people in Mobile were awesome. In fact, I did a radio show there, and I told them that I knew you two, and I think we probably canceled the show we did a long. They asked me to do it for the league, and he was awesome. And when I told them I was with Steve and Wes, they immediately cut the show off.
I've seen that. We've set up with next to them in Mobile for a Senior Bowl.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Couple years.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
nice guy.
Really nice guys. So Coach, did y'all ever get a paycheck that didn't bounce?
How about this? The last paycheck they put in there, I never knew this was direct deposit. Well, before I could get home from us being locked out of the room, they took it out. They have 5 days. I never knew this. Direct deposit, they can go direct withdrawal.
Ooh, I did not know that either. Really?
Well, lo and behold, but I was feeling, well, at least I got me enough money. I can buy me a bucket of chicken. And the time I got home, I got no way to pay for that chicken.
Wow.
So they did a league up here where the only one got paid was Prince Wembley because he took his check to Winn-Dixie and cashed it. Of course, I don't think Winn-Dixie got their money, but that's the only one I know that got paid.
Well, I was there. I went to the Walmart in Mobile, and I thought, my gosh, what about this great security? And as there's a police car right front between the sidewalk and the front doors, I said, well, that's nice. And I walked in, and there was a policeman in this aisle and a policeman in that aisle. And I thought, wow, this is pretty good security. And I walked up to the pharmacy, and the guy said, they came over and says, if you're driving the 1998 Buick, please come to the front. And the guy looked at the other guy and said, you better go out. And he opened the door, and I thought we're all supposed to run. I took off with him. I love Mobile.
I'm sorry it didn't work out, Coach.
Yeah, and I'm sorry because we had players. We had 5. It's hard to find 5 defensive tackles. Now, the wide receivers were okay. I never find a pro, and Wes will know what I'm talking about. There's a huge difference between a college and a pro long snapper, punter, and kicker. And we still had a college snapper, punter, and kicker. And the pros suck up anybody that's a pro quality to do those things. And but I had 4 really, maybe 5 big time backs. I had an offensive lineman with low in depth. Had a center from Sacramento State that I tried to kill him the first 4 days of practice. I thought he'd either quit or become something. In fact, this may sound familiar to Wes, and he became something. Became pretty good. But I tell, when we were running the gassers afterwards, he was thinking about I-10.
Yeah. So, Coach,
you've been there with me.
Oh, yeah. I remember we ran after practice now, the second practice, and we ran 40-20s, was it, or 40-40s?
We did the 40s, then 60s, then 80s, then 120s.
120s, yeah. The 120s were the easiest, though.
You know who gave me that running program?
Who's that?
You'll never guess. Walter Payton.
Oh, wow.
So I was coaching the Falcons and invited the Bears. Remember how they'd come in and spend 3 or 4 days with you in camp?
Right.
And practice would be all over. And here is Walter Payton and his 2 guards. One of them was named Sorry. I can't remember the other guard. It's terrible. And he showed me, and I said, you got guards here? He goes, when it comes to fourth quarter and I come around the corner, these 2 fat boys got to be right there with me. I took right verbatim his running program and have been running it ever since. And that was probably like 1980, something like that. And it's a hell of a running program. And Walter Payton, I got to coach against him. In the fourth quarter, was the strongest man on the field.
No doubt about that. That legendary hill that has been well documented and part of that off-season program as well. So it's a good thing you didn't install a hill somewhere there, Coach.
Well, I looked at Wes, and we had a little hill there. I was afraid if I ran him up there, he'd roll down.
I don't remember.
I didn't want to make Wes
all I
mad.
remember is the crickets.
Oh, yeah. How about that? We had crickets in the locker.
I was afraid one of them was going to carry me off.
Crickets in the locker.
Oh, wow.
They were huge.
Everything's big in Texas.
Well, then I moved Harvey Salem's locker to the bathroom, and he had a dress in the bathroom. He didn't like that much. I traded him to Detroit and let them put up with that.
Rozier's locker was the one on. Do you ever talk to? You ever see him, Coach? Mike Rozier?
No, I didn't. I somebody put him on the phone with me that was in Houston there honoring the Oilers something or another, and I talked to him on the phone. But he got gut shots. He got shot right in the stomach, and it was able to come through that.
It's lucky there.
He's different.
Different. I like to see him every year at the Heisman Trophy. Kind of the reason I watch every year, no matter what, because he has that hat on.
My wife got so sick in Atlanta, she wasn't going to make it, and she needed all this blood. And those players ran over there, and the first guy to give blood was Mike Rozier.
Wow.
And ever since then, my wife got up at midnight and started dancing.
Oh, man. He was something different. There's no – of course, he's from New Jersey and played for Nebraska.
Did you ever see him get in a fight?
No. Ever. No.
Well, I saw him get in a fight. And the fight started up. In his hand, I told everybody, if there wasn't football, he could have been heavyweight champ of the world because I knew Evander Holyfield and those people. His hands were so fast. He hit this guy 5 times before the guy knew the fight started.
It was over before it began.
And how about we played the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys thought they were going to the playoffs. Jerry Jones was in a full strut last game of the year. All they had to do was beat us. And I told the team, the only guy that could call timeout is Mike Rozier. Everybody looked at us and said, don't anybody else. Mike, you have the right to call timeout because I'm going to run you till your tongue looks like a necktie. And we poured Mike Rozier on the Cowboys, and they got kicked out of the playoffs. Ooh, doggy.
Does anybody in the NFL like Jerry Jones?
Well, maybe his first or second wife because they got a lot of money.
I mean, he just seems like he alienates everybody.
Well, he can't help himself. And there he was with Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that's his college roommate.
Well, they should still be roommates. They're the same.
They're a lot the same. You're right.
It's kind of funny. I was at Houston, and Jimmy Johnson was at Dallas. You were there, and we were playing them. And damn guy was interviewing me on TV. The guy interviewed me. Later on, got in trouble. There's a running back for Buffalo Bills got in trouble with the law. Drove a white Bronco all around. And anyway, he said, you and Jimmy Johnson are a lot alike. And I looked at him and I said, you got to be kidding me. My hair will move in a 40-mile-an-hour wind. That was O.J. Simpson interviewed me. How about that?
O.J. Simpson. You know, that's still shocking to me, that whole thing. And, you know, was shocked UCLA and USC went to the Big Ten. That surprised me. What surprised me last year when Oklahoma and Texas decided to come to the SEC. When you see what's going on in college football, what do you think? I mean, Coach, you've been around for a long, long time.
All they have to do is get Ohio State in the SEC, and everybody else can drop football. Because if they put Ohio State in there, in reality, not to hurt everybody's feelings, but nothing else would matter. You know, you got LSU, you got a school named Auburn, you got one named Alabama, you got Georgia, and now you got Ohio State. Now, getting Southern Cal and UCLA in the Big Ten, that's like getting a blister on your foot wishing you had a Band-Aid. Southern Cal is not the Southern Cal it was in 1970.
No, it's not.
Whatever. They don't play like that anymore. And UCLA, they hired that genius from Oregon that was going to run he thought he could get to heaven with a bubble screen. And if you can play defense, the bubble screen, I call it a 50-50 play. You may get the ball or we may get the ball.
So we had a caller, Roy the Keg Slayer, came up with the perfect analogy of Oregon. And said there were a Pee-wee team on Red Bull.
Well, you know what? They were fast. And they were all out of California. There wasn't no Oregon kids much on that team. And I will say this. I don't miss on many, as you know, in the draft. And that quarterback that played up at Oregon and is now at San Diego.
Yep.
And I told June Jones, I said, I missed on him. I didn't have him rated way up there. And he goes, Jerry, you didn't miss on him. The Oregon offense was so bad, nobody knew how good he was. But if you watch him play, between him and the kid from Wyoming playing at Buffalo, there's not much difference between those two.
No, I mean, he surprised me too, Coach, because I watched a couple games. One of them was the Arizona State game, and he played. I mean, he threw 5 interceptions in that game, but he just looked awful. I mean, he looked unprepared, but you're right. I mean, you know, if the best players won every year, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Everybody would just get the best players. But sometimes they got to overcome the coaching, and then and then they get playing hurts. The other thing.
I remember your daddy calling you up when you were with the Oilers, and you say, "Dad, I'm having a couple of problems." He said, "You got to overcome your damn coach out there."
He never said that. No, he I mean, he was the first to tell me that you just gotta respect your coach, listen to what he says, but in the end, you gotta do what you gotta do to win your battles.
Yeah.
And if you win your battles, then they don't care how you do it in the end.
Yep.
Because there's more one way to skin a cat, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and it's kind of funny. You watch right now. I'm thinking the NFL may be the worst coach football I see.
And
it's
so generic almost. It's like everybody's doing the same thing almost.
Well, how about this? You'd have died. I had the TV on, and I got me a brand new bigot, and I felt like Elvis, like I may shoot it. They went to the sideline, and this assistant coach was verbalizing his adjustments. And as I listened to him, I thought, good Lord, somebody get me a pistol and put me out of my misery. And the people said, you're going to shoot yourself or the TV? And I said, both.
Well, you better shoot the TV first.
Yeah, I guess you got to follow the right path.
Yeah. to get it all done, you got to shoot the TV first.
Yeah. But you know the tackling is atrocious. The tackling is a joke. The adjustments on trips, they treat trips now. Trips for you people driving your car home, wondering who's talking on your radio. They got 3 people to one side. It could be 3 wideouts. It could be a tight end. And defensively now, they treat trips like it's a mirage.
What do you
if
mean
you
by
line
that?
up trips against us, well, they don't know what to do with the backside nickel safety.
Well, a lot of them just
They
go to
bring that
base when there's trips.
Well, not everybody is 5 DBs, so the whole key is the nickel safety is off on the weak side, the one-man side. And the nickel safety is the key on the trips. What does he have strong? What does he have weak? What read does he get on the quarterback? And he has a fastball read, and then he has a slow read as to the. So next time you see trips, I wish you'd go to a game with me. You'd line up and have fun, and I would tell you what the nickel safety was doing and what he's reading when he's on that one-man side. Now, if you go play Green Bay, if that nickel safety walks over to the quarterback, over to the center, he's lining up over west, but he's 10, 12 yards deep, that ball immediately goes to the one guy one-on-one. Immediately. Don't care what the play's called. I don't care if they got a run. I don't care what they're. So the key for you and me is to get there and find out what the nickel safety's reading in trips.
There you go.
Maybe Saban's listening to this, and he'll give me a call. If you talk to him, tell me go ahead and call collect. I'll pay the damn phone bill.
I don't think he answers the phone this time of year right now.
Nah.
Talking to Coach Terry Glanville right now in the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, I did want to get a thought or two on, I don't know if you saw the headlines of Lynn Dawson, who is currently in hospice care, and it's someone you shared a studio with back in the day there at HBO.
Maybe the nicest man. Well, Jim Nance and him. I got to work with both at different networks, one with HBO. Maybe the 2 nicest men in all of television, really. I didn't know he was in hospice. Gosh, I'm glad you told me that. But I got him, and I was racing in Kansas City one time, and he had his own TV show, and he came down to cover it. And we got him in the race car for the TV show, and we couldn't get him out. It's not easy getting in and out that window. For you people driving to Talladega, there's no doors on those cars. Well, but he was just a great person, a great guy, and never one time would ever try to take your thunder or he was just a perfect person. And, I was there with Collinsworth and Nick Bonaconte and me. We were the #1 cable TV show, period. And that NFL show, we had 23 minutes of highlights, which nobody else had. Now everybody's got them. But what a great guy Lenny Dawson was. Of course, he played for Hank Stram, and he beat the Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl, which gave the AFC, a little more proof of the pudding.
So, Coach, my father's roommate, my father played 8 years in the NFL. His roommate the entire 8 years, 4 at Boston, 4 at Miami, was Nick Bonaconte.
He was with Nick Bonaconte?
He was his roommate for 8 years.
Is your dad still alive?
No, he's not.
Well, if he was, I was going to take him out and buy him a dinner and a shrine and put up in Nick Bonaconte.
Nick had a high opinion of himself. He used to call me on the phone, though.
I ever saw.
Yeah.
But you know what he did one time? He was pretty opinionated, pretty well loved by himself, and got a divorce because his wife wouldn't keep clapping. But I once put him in a linebacker spot on an HBO show, and we were running, and he was there in linebacker gear. Now, I mean, he's probably 55 years old. And we ran the RPO, and I never said one word how to coach him. He immediately had the ball whatever we did. He immediately knew where everything was. Just instinctive. If you had him, he'd sort of be like you. When I had you at center, I said, don't bother coaching Wes. He knows more than we do. Well, that's the way he knew what to do on every play.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he wasn't a big guy.
No, very small.
Played. I guess he ended up playing 15 or 16 years in the NFL, and then then became an attorney for the tobacco company during all. I mean, he had an incredible story, an incredible life. Did. So, yeah, but he was.
And you know who was the same size? The best linebacker I've ever seen play was Nick Bonaconte's size.
Sam Mills.
No. Come on. Played for Detroit.
You're going to have to help me then.
Joe, somebody.
You're going to have to give me more than that, Coach. When was
he was
this?
He was the best linebacker of all time.
All times. And he became the head coach of the Lions. And he went off to the automobile where they furnish parts that they build cars for Ford Motor Car Company, because William Clay Ford, of course, took care of him.
Joe Schmidt
is the best you've ever seen.
Really?
You know what I once? I got to be the voice of the top 100 players. They said, here's the top 100 players. We're going to let you be the voice. And it was a big movie of so many players. And one person once said, Sam Huff, remember, was at the Redskins?
Yes.
And they're going to make a movie of Sam Huff, the greatest linebacker that ever played. And I said, they better get Joe Schmidt to play the part so it's not fake.
So what did Joe Schmidt and Nick Bonaconte have in common?
Just their size, but they both
of them played at Notre Dame.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
And he played at Pittsburgh.
No. Joe Schmidt played at Pittsburgh.
Oh, I thought Joe Schmidt played at Notre Dame.
No.
I'm looking at the wrong Joe Schmidt then.
Yes, you are.
Hey, in fact, you're going to like this. The great running back for Cleveland, Brown, Jimmy Brown, he ran over everybody, but he never gained any yards against Detroit because Joe Schmidt hammered him every play. This is too much football knowledge, I guess.
Whew. Is that during the same period of Ditka? Or is...
Yeah, I saw Ditka play as a rookie in Green Bay. And everybody went to see Ditka play, and it was worth the price of admission. But then he got in a little tussle with a guy named Ray Nitschke, which was probably the wrong guy to get in a tussle with, and they found out he was still a little bit too much college. Because it was a tough game then. And, in fact, Wally Hildenberg played for the Vikings, was in a total different element also. And I was at Detroit. We had a Hall of Fame tight end named Charlie Sanders. And Charlie Sanders was doing something. Wally Hildenberg came around and hit him so hard, we really thought he was probably dead. And you know, the head coach of the Vikings,
Bud,
would not let Wally Hildenberg play again against Detroit. Put him in street clothes every time we played him after that vicious hit. Bud Grant.
Yeah. You mentioned Hank Stram earlier in our conversation. Was he a big influence on you? Because at least with the media, I see some similarities between you and Hank Stram, Coach.
No, he just, when I was coaching, he was doing TV.
Mm-hmm.
And probably him and Jim Nantz were my biggest boosters doing games, along with Madden's partner Summerall. They were probably the biggest Jerry Glanville fans. I only had 3, so I could keep track of them. Well, what I do today, you'd love somebody will come up and say, "You're my favorite coach." I give them a $10 bill, and some years I spend $30.
Now you're popular in Atlanta. I don't want to hear that.
Come on,
I don't want to hear
now.
that. So what is he? Was he the top 10 or top 20 people in Atlanta in Falcon history? They voted by the fans.
I
Was
would
it top 10
yeah,
or top 20? Coach?
I think it was top 10.
Well, it's kind of funny. The fans in Atlanta love me a whole lot more than the owner.
Well, the owner had to pay you.
Yeah, and me and the owner had different opinions on things, of course. And the owner was, I'll say this, when I was there, the owner was Rankin Smith. And a lot of people criticized him, a lot of people didn't like him. But he loved the Falcons, and he wanted the Falcons to be as good as they could be. Unfortunately, he didn't know who to hire to pick the players. And if he ever would have had the right guy picking the players, because it wasn't a toy to him, it wasn't some, outreach thing he was doing. He truly did love the Falcons. And one day I got on the board, I said, "Now, Mr. Smith, here's the players we had when I took this job. See these guys?" He goes, "Yes." I goes, "Now look who I have in those same positions." He goes, "Yes." I said, "Can you see we're not as good at every position with who we're replacing people every time?" He said, "I sure do see that, Chair. And good luck to you next year."
Is that why it didn't work out with Lehman Bennett? Did he have kind of those same butting heads?
Well, and the worst thing Lehman did to himself, Lehman could take, and I learned this from Lehman, he could take the worst players in America and take you to the fourth quarter every single game. He won more games, and I always told everybody, if he took your players, his players, everybody's players, the game's going down to the fourth quarter. He was a master of being competitive when you weren't any good. He really did it. He really did an unbelievable job with marginal talented teams. And the poor owner, we were in the playoffs every year, and we got beat by the Vikings in the playoffs. We had the best record. And the owner said, "With Lehman Bennett, we've hit our high water mark. We're not going to get any better.
Yep.
I'm moving on."
Yep.
Well, they didn't go to the playoffs again until they brought me back.
Correct.
And the high water mark with Lehman was pretty damn. He was there every year, as you know.
Yeah. Right there against the Cowboys.
And that's something I said just recently on this show, this program, is I don't understand. Like I remember Baltimore Colts when Peyton Manning was there. They made the
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis Colts. They get beat in the I don't know, in maybe the championship game, the AFC championship game, and then they get rid of their coach.
Patriots.
Yes, said that they that's their
it's their high water mark.
They got to get somebody. But
they've plateaued.
But that's
is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it, or I can use it for good.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Slips through one tackle, still on his feet, breaking tackle, 40, 45, 50. Johnson in a foot race to the 45, breaking another tackle, 30, to the 25, to the 20, still on his feet, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's gone! Touchdown, Auburn! How about that? Rudy Johnson for
fielder will he go? This one will be touchdown! Big arm! Touchdown!
What I do today is very important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. I came up here and moved back hurting this morning. I'm saying that for a day of my life. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone. Forever.
A tratar de tomar la banda. Solamente queda el pateador. Y se lo está llevando. No ha pisado fuera. Se va a escapar hasta touchdown, Alabama.
56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Riddle makes the grab 5. Angles by 3, 2, 1. Touchdown! 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 With 26 seconds to go.
And make his ass quit.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, stole thunder and rain. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Man, dude, bad, fast. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. Incredible. Fast. You, George Foreman, all you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you, I know you got him. Dick. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Straight back to pass. Going deep. Throwing it down the far sideline. And it is caught for a touchdown. Devontae Smith wins the national championship. Down the left sideline and wide open behind the defense. One true freshman to another. A beautiful throw. A clutch catch. And Alabama is the national champion in overtime. 26-23 over Georgia.
He's got time up the middle. Right, intercepted at the 32, at the 45, at the 20, at the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Auburn!
Never give in. Never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You know, it's kind of like my dad used to tell me, when I used to go to work at the station, my girlfriend broke up with me, so I was treating the customers bad. And he said, "What's wrong with you today?" And I said, "My girlfriend broke up with me." He said, "Well, you got one problem, but if you keep treating the customers bad, you're going to have two more. I'm going to fire you, and then I'm going to whip your ass for getting fired. So you're not going to have a girlfriend, you're not going to have a job, all right, and you're going to get your tail whipped."
I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not forget the price I paid for it.
It's time for Buckhorn High School football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Bucks football is presented by Hometown Lenders of Hazel Green, local agent Logan Hoffman. The Stultz Group at Amanda Howard Sotheby's International Realty. Bucks football is also brought to you by Buckhorn Youth Sports. Joseph Carter Realty, local agent David Norwood. TOC, the Orthopedic Center. Alpha Insurance, local agent Joe David Cantrell. And by Remax Real Estate, the Sheila Swaim team. Now, let's head to the field.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tommy R. Ledbetter Stadium for tonight's season opener for the visiting 4A Madison County Tigers.
and the homestanding 6A Buckhorn Bucks. I am Tom Abraham along with John McGough, and this is the Stultz Group Realty pregame show. These two schools lie just 8.5 miles apart, and the Bucks hold a 29-12 all-time edge over the Tigers. Last year here at Ledbetter Stadium, Buckhorn won 24-13. The Bucks led 14-7 at the half and built a 24-7 lead before Madison County scored 6 in the fourth quarter. The final score was 24-13. Maybe you can hear that wind whipping around behind us. My broadcast partner, John McGough, he was the PA announcer here back in the day, and I can tell you for sure, John, the energy is palpable, but the electricity is in the air. We are in a weather delay. We need to tell our listeners right off the bat that we are, in fact, in a weather delay. We have a gorgeous rainbow. The rain has stopped. There was very little rain. There's a lot of wind right now. The lightning and the storms and so on went by, but there's a mandatory waiting period before things can start. So we're probably going to be the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour before we can start this 2022 football season.
Well, Tom, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be worth the wait. And like you said, been a while since I've been back here on the campus at Buckhorn High School here at Tommy Hart Ledbetter Stadium, but it's great to be back, and it's actually super great to be here next to you doing some high school football in the Tennessee Valley.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am absolutely stoked for it as well. I am looking forward to this upcoming season, and it just adds to the drama that there'll be an extra few minutes before we get things started. But I do believe, having looked at the weather forecast, that this was just a pop-up deal. Pretty much your fault, let's be honest. I mean,
I called it.
You were very negative leading into you kept saying the skies were blue, the sun was shining, and you kept saying this is the lightning capital of Madison County, and I'm telling you the storm is going to come in. And sure enough, the skies turned black, and you're a black cloud.
Well, Jason Simpson has nothing on me.
Yes. Yeah, that's. I would think that that's exactly right. But I think it's going to actually be a lovely evening. And it cooled some things down.
Yes.
There was some humidity earlier. There'll still be mandatory water breaks and so on because of the humidity. The field looks to be in tremendous condition. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful in terms of the field, and they did a great job prepping it for this game. This field does get a lot of play with all the youth teams that play here from Madison or from Buckhorn area here, and all of the baby Bucks, if you will, that play out here. But the students have come back to the stands. We noticed that they're working their way back in. Most of the fans are starting to work their way back in, and I think we're going to have football, but it's just going to be a little bit of a delay before we get to that football. Earlier, I did have an opportunity, though, to talk with head football coach Matt Patterson. I had a good opportunity to talk to him, and this was my conversation with Matt Patterson. Joined now by Matt Patterson just moments before kickoff, and Coach, it's here, man. I mean, I assume the kids were wearing their jerseys around school during the day. It's time. It's game time. Different vibe when it gets to that first Friday night, right?
Well, it's been a different vibe today, Tom. The kids laser focused. You can tell some guys got a little bit of the jitters. They got their headphones on. It's been a real good day so far.
You got after Madison County last year. Now they come in here. I would imagine they're looking for a measure of revenge. You guys obviously, this is a non-league game, but it's still a big game. Two schools that aren't too far away from each other.
And we're 8 miles apart. It means a lot to these people in this community. They talk about Madison County and Hazel Green before they talk about anybody else, and they rightfully so. We got to go out tonight and we got to play Buckhorn football for 48 minutes, and we got to rev the engine up and put the hammer down and let the chips fall where they may.
It goes fast once the season gets started. I mean, it's just lock and load week in and week out. But I would just imagine that you want to get good film here tonight. You want to get good execution throughout the night, and the rest of it will take care of itself, right? If you can just execute one play at a time, the process, as Nick Saban says, it would seem like everything else, the scoreboard will take care of itself.
Correct. We haven't mentioned about scores or nothing like that, or talked about winning. We've talked about doing your job and playing to our standard of what we think our football should look like. And if we do that tonight, we're going to be successful, and we're going to get a chance to see a lot of kids play that hadn't yet played before, and we're going to find some diamonds tonight. There's going to be some kids step up and make plays that we ain't expecting to step up and make plays, and it can be anywhere from a freshman to a senior. So we're really excited about this group and what they got, and we're going to know more about them here in a couple hours.
You got a sophomore at Mike linebacker and Cohen Fielder. You got a sophomore running back that have high expectations for. You got a freshman that's going to rotate in on that defensive line. You are very young, right? I mean, Tamir Robinson's a sophomore that's going to play some at corner for you. This is a first time out for a bunch of these guys on Friday night in front of the big crowd.
Yeah, well, it is, and we've talked about that, but they've done everything we've asked them to do and more since last November. These guys have earned it. We don't give them nothing. We tell them all the time, when you step on that grass, whether you're a senior, it's a junior, whatever, your grades go out the window. You got to perform. And we're going to put those guys out there tonight, and we're going to put them on that stage, and they got to go perform, and they got to go perform for the guys on the sideline. They got to do something tonight with someone else in mind. You got to do your job so someone else can win. So that's kind of our mantra a little bit, but that's who we are, and that's what we're about to see here in a few minutes.
And finally, speaking of the guys on the sidelines, the guys in the golf shirts, I would imagine for them, what has the vibe been? It's a different feeling, isn't it? As you're going through summer, and then you get closer and closer, and with fall camp, and now today, I would imagine some of those guys are ready to do. They probably would like to strap it up themselves and get out there. They're probably ready to go. Your coaching staff.
And our coaches do a phenomenal job. We got a great staff. Super, super pleased with what we've done. They work their rear ends off. If I'm up here, they're here longer. I can't ask for anything better. They do a great job with the kids. They coach their rear ends off. And they're sitting in the office right now, and you can hear a pin drop in there because they're focused. A lot of those guys played college ball and high level, played some successful high school teams, and have coached on some great teams. They know what the job is tonight, and everybody's dialed in. It's like I say, you can't worry about winning and losing, but I like the look in our eye right now.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Tom.
That was Coach Matt Patterson in the Logan Hoffman Hometown Lenders of Hazel Green Coaches Report. We'll get a break in here. When we come back, we'll set you up for what is going to happen next. You're listening to Buckhorn Bucks football on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
In sports, every point counts. And at Alpha Insurance, we know when it comes to your budget, every dollar counts. That's why we work to get you the lowest rates and best discounts available. Plus, every Alpha policy comes with personal service from our hometown team. So call Alpha to start saving today. In Huntsville, call me, Joe David Cantrell, at 256-859-9408. Again, that's 256-859-9408. Call Alpha.
David Norwood with Joseph Carter Realty in Jasper, Alabama is a top-selling agent for Smith Lake. David is a retired high school football coach who will win for you with all your real estate needs. So if you're looking for a property in the Smith Lake area, give David a call at 205-529-2920 or visit josephcarterrealty.com. David is a proud supporter of Buckhorn football, so give him a call today, again at 205-529-2920.
Buckhorn Youth Sports was created in 2018 to provide kids in our community the ability to compete at every sport possible. We offer football, flag and tackle, cheer, volleyball, wrestling, basketball, baseball, and softball. You can find us on Facebook at Buckhorn Youth Sports, where we prepare the future. Buckhorn Youth Sports is a proud supporter of Buckhorn High School football. Go Bucks!
Hey there, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. We're celebrating 40 legendary years here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And to kick this off, we're coming in hot with our all-new Alabama Hot Chicken. Fresh southern fried chicken breast smothered in a blend of tangy, immune-boosting herbs and spices with a spicy finish. Served up with a side of homemade smoked Gouda cheese grits, Miss Mary southern greens, and garlic bread. And there's plenty more where that came from. Stop in today and celebrate with us. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back out to Ledbetter Stadium. Tom Abraham along with John McGough. We are in a weather delay here, but coming up at the top of the hour, one of the beautiful things about the 97.7 ESPN, The Zone High School Streaming Network, is that we have multiple games going on our various stations. This one, of course, will be here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and on our primary stream. But also over on Zone 2, we'll have Madison Academy hosting Deschler, and on Zone 3, we have Randolph at West Morgan. So what we are going to do at the top of the hour, we're at least a half an hour away from kickoff or so. Here's probably going to be the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour before we kick here at Buckhorn High School. So what we're going to do is at the top of the hour, we will throw it to Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird as they'll have a kickoff from Madison Academy, and we'll have that game for you until we're ready to go with our kickoff here. Let's take a look at the Stoltz Group Realty starting lineups for tonight's game for Buckhorn. At quarterback tonight, starting will be Jack Roop. He's 6'1", 170-pound junior. But Jack only threw 7 passes last year, completed 3 for 29 yards. We'll also see Terrence Robinson, who will start at running back. We'll see him in the quarterback spot some as well. Terrence is a 6'2", 190-pound senior. He only threw 1 pass last year, and that was good for 28 yards. And, boy, I got to tell you, John, that's one of the things about this team. It's going to be very, very young at quarterback.
It is going to be young. It'll be interesting to see. Young players like this, Tom, really how they handle the pressure.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's important for the Bucks to get out, maybe get the ground game going a little bit, so the pressure's not on these young guys so much when it comes to trying to get things going with the passing game.
Terrence Robinson last year did have 542 yards rushing. He averaged 4.55 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns on the ground. Also caught 6 balls for 46 yards. He is a captain on this team this year. We'll also see a lot of Shamarian Landrum. They call him Yaya. I don't know why, but they call him Yaya. He's number 22, and he's a good-looking athlete. Averaged 7.6 yards per carry on limited carries last year, so we'll see some of him today as well. Also in the lineup tonight will be Camden Anderson at one wide receiver spot, 6', 170-pound junior. Bryce Lowry as well gets the start. He is 6'2", 170 pounds. He had a reception last year. He will start at one of the wide receiver spots. Nihal Kuna will start in the slot. He's 5'8", 160 pounds. A senior, had 4 catches last year for 39 yards. At the tight end spot, it'll be Wyatt Owen. Wyatt's 5'10", 195 pounds. He had 12 catches last year for 113 yards. We're going to see a lot of Kyler Douglas at wide receiver as well. Kyler is a captain on this team. He is 5'10", 180 pounds. Had 12 catches for 113 yards last year. Up front, the Big Uglies, these are the guys that will be doing the job to make sure that there's time to pass at right tackle. Colston Lamb is 6'4", 240 pounds, a junior. Jordan Rice, 6'1", 270-pounder, is at right guard. Starting at center is a sophomore, Ashton Robinson. He's 5'9", 245 pounds, and I saw him last night at Baumhauer's coming out with a big old tray of food. He's a sophomore. He's calm. He says he's a little nervous, but he's calm. These guys will be in the shotgun the whole time tonight, so you got to kind of look at that a little bit, and I'm sure he's got a little bit of nerves with those shotgun snaps.
Oh, it has to be a little bit of nerves going in there, Tom. I mean, this is a young team,
very young,
but they're going to have to grow up pretty quickly.
Yeah,
tonight. So it's exciting for them, exciting for us, exciting for the fans. Looking forward to it.
Brendan Meeks will be the left guard. He is 6'1", 300 pounds, a junior, and Nathan Sell is the left tackle, 6'2", 285 pounds, and they average about 260 across the line, which is good because their broadcaster averages about 260 as well. So I'm assimilating, with these guys. So we'll see how they play tonight. That is your offensive lineup for tonight's game. The Stoltz Group Realty starting lineup. All right, we are going to be delayed about a half an hour here, it looks like, so we're going to send you now out to Madison Academy where they're getting ready to kick off that game against Deschler. Let's pass it off to Steve Moulton. We'll have you back. He'll keep you updated. We'll have you back here sometime around the bottom of the hour for kickoff here at Buckhorn High School. This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Patrick Malone, this is his first year taking over what is, we all know the name Deschler, do we not? This is the third overall matchup. Madison Academy 2-0, but this is the first matchup since 2013. I would say there's 12 minutes up on the clock, but we are going to do our best. Deep to receive for the Mustangs is Mario Brewer. A lovely night. The Friday lights are on. The ball is teed up. The whistle blows. Away we go, and the 2022 season is underway. Brewer receives it at the 11-yard line, angles towards the far hash marks, turns the corner to the 15 and tripped up at around the 21-yard line, and that is where the maroon and gold will take over. 1st and 10 in the first scrimmage of down.
Brewer turned on the Jets, but really good pursuit by the Tigers to trip him up. He advanced the ball maybe 2 or 3 yards on the return, but Brewer is one of those kids to watch. Pound for pound, he's one of the best athletes out there on the field.
Ken Cherry is behind Crehan. Play action pass, looks left, fires left, a little bubble screen to Mario Brewer, stiff arms the man up to the 25, angles towards the far numbers before he dives out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That is a 15-yard pickup on the very first play from scrimmage, and a first down for the Mustangs. So quickly up to the line goes Madison Academy. A quick look to the sideline along the near side does Carson Crehan, who's in a shotgun formation. Trips to the near side. Low snap, and I think Crehan's right knee hit the ground. No. Whistle stops the action here early. And our lead official, and Barry Goodson, it is a false start penalty. I missed that one. That backs up the Mustangs 5 yards back to the Madison Academy 31-yard line, so it's 1st and 15. That was a low snap, too, and Crehan was close to downing the football with his right knee as well. 1st and 15 for Madison Academy. First scrimmage downs here this Friday night. Cherry to the right hip. Handoff to Cherry, right up the gut and swallowed up whole that time by Ryan Smart among them. And that does gain around 3 yards, though, up to the 33-yard line.
You know, one of the big gaps, or one of the big losses from last season was Stokes.
Yes.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Madison Academy tries to find the guy that's going to give them the rhythm in that position.
2nd and 12. Crehan looks right, throws right. It is complete. Right down the center of the gap. And running with it is Bobkowski. Down to the 15. Inside the 10 before he's driven down at the 7-yard line. Hayden Bobkowski.
That was a beautiful pass. I mean, and a great route. I think that's one of the things that I noticed first. He found that the seam in that zone, and it was really, I mean, he was wide open. And great job by Crehan getting the ball to him in stride.
1st and goal to go here out of the gate. How about Bobkowski making the first big play of the year for Madison Academy? Crehan, down the line option, handed over to Cherry. He's ended up in the backfield. Nicely done defensively by the Deschler Tigers. Among them in the pile is Malone. That loses around 3.5, almost 4 yards back to the Deschler 9-yard line.
Yeah, all that happened at the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by the defensive line of Deschler. It was almost like they saw our playbook on that one. Got in there very quickly.
2nd and goal to go from the Deschler 9. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers set. Crehan rolls right. Dumps it over and incomplete. He was being heavily rushed that time by Tay Fuqua. And it's an incomplete pass, which brings up 3rd and goal. This also brings up to mind our kicker, Ian Vachon, graduated last year as well. So I don't know the kicking situation here out of the gate.
I don't either, but Cherry was actually open. He was underneath. Might have been able to pick up maybe about 5, but great job by that defense putting pressure on Crehan.
Tight formation here on 3rd and goal from the Deschler 9. Rolling to his right is Crehan. Fires into the far corner, incomplete. Closest man to it was D. Newsom. He's wearing the Deschler jersey, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that was about 3 yards out of bounds, so
yep,
safely thrown out of bounds. But still, that does bring up that kicking situation you were talking about.
And coming out for Madison Academy is Neil Radak, Radak from 27 yards. Snap, set, kick. It is wide right and no good. So Deschler is able to hold firm despite a big chunk play from Madison Academy offensively. And that will change the possession over to the Deschler Tigers, where they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Deschler.
Oh, what happened here?
C.J. Jackson is the quarterback for the Tigers.
Okay.
Make that Price Thornton. They are a veer team, so expect a whole lot of running. A tight formation on 1st and 10, handoff to the tailback and run over the right side of the line, and Blue down at around the 21 for a 1-yard pickup. It's 2nd and 9. I would give you a clock update, but we are right now currently without a scoreboard at the moment. I'm going to guess about halfway through the first quarter.
Sure, why not?
We're scoreless. Man, Glenn Laird is the best.
Hey,
we're going to double your pay. Thornton hands it off to the fullback, right up the gut, and found a hole. And upended big time, though, by Manley defensively for the Mustangs, but it still gains around 6 yards up to the Deschler 28-yard line. It is 3rd and 2. Already a big down here early. Tight formation here on 3rd down. Play action. It's a busted play. There comes the defense, and he is sacked in the backfield. And there to clean up the mess is Josh Williams for a loss of 7 on that play. It'll bring up a punting situation.
I agree. That was a broken play. It looked like almost it was a pass play, which could not have been, right? Somebody missed the handoff, and big break for the Mustangs.
Etienne and Brewer are deep to receive. Jaden Etienne is a 10th grader. Mario Brewer, a senior. Punt formation. Snap is decent. Kick is away. It's a line drive. Received by Etienne. It's a fair catch.
He did catch.
He did wave his right arm, he honestly had about 5 yards free to give to him. But you know what? For the 10th grader, I'm good with the possession.
Yeah, that's right. But that's why he started to run. He got the ball and said, there's nobody close.
I see some smiles along the sideline. Mustangs take over 1st and 10 at the Madison Academy 45-yard line after a punt of about 28 yards. Crehan in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers set. Trips to the near side. He looks that way, throws that way. It is intercepted. Deschler able to read that route and jump it cleanly. And there with the pick is Fuqua. And so Madison Academy will have to dart out defensively again. After the first turnover of the game.
And this is you can't afford to make that kind of mistakes with a veer team.
Yeah.
You know, their game plan is just chew up clock. You've got to take advantage of your opportunities to move the ball, keep possession of the ball, and get a score.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own, at Madison Academy's 48-yard line. Thornton goes under center. Tight veer formation, handoff to the tailback, bounces it out right side of the line, over to the 45, down to around the 40-yard line before tripped down. There is Jakari Blue. That's a big chunk play there for Deschler, and a gain of around 7-8 yards to bring up 2nd and 2. Ball along the far hash mark. We're still in the first quarter here, scoreless between Deschler and Madison Academy. Those of you expecting Buckhorn High School football, they are in a weather delay, waiting on them to start, though, over the airwaves. Handoff to the tailback, right up the gut, close to the sticks on that carry. Might be an inch short, depending if it's a left foot or a right foot spot.
I think it's a right foot. You're right.
And I think it's 3rd and 1. That carry was by Jesse Jeffords. So here's 3rd and 1. Not even a full one, it looks like, from here. At the Mustang 38-yard line. They need to get...
Yeah, you know this is 4-down territory too, right?
Especially with a Veer team. You're absolutely right. Thornton will go under center. I wonder if this might just be a quarterback sneak. Thornton barks out the call. No, play action. Looks left and is in trouble. Rolls to his left. Has first down yardage and more before he scampers out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And a gain of around 7 yards when he needed a foot.
Okay, now that call makes me wonder if what we saw before was a broken play.
Yeah.
I think that might have been exactly the same play. It was
that made me think you were right that they were going to go for it on 4th down. With that kind of call, that looked like a passing play. 1st and 10 for Deschler at the Madison Academy 32-yard line. This after a turnover and interception by the Deschler defense. Thornton under center. Hand off. No, it's a little end around. Makes a man miss down to the 25-20, 15-10-5 end zone. Deschler scores the first touchdown of this game, courtesy of C.J. Jackson from 23 yards out.
Yeah, that's that misdirection kind of thing that you get with that veer. You'll see it a lot. You said it's an end around, it's tight end. I mean, you know, it was almost like the veer back coming around to get that ball, and just Mustangs weren't ready for it.
Felix Lindetta for the point after. Snap, set, kick on the way. It is wide left and no good. Deschler, though, leads it 6-0 here over the airwaves, as well as on Zone 2. Now this from Valley Equipment Rental.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at ValleyEquipmentRents.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Along with Glenn Laird, Steve Moulton back here with you at Bill Washington Stadium. So the first turnover of the year yields 6 points for the Deschler Tigers, and they lead it 6-0 here at Madison Academy. Deschler set to kick it away. A heat timeout, I believe, is the call, I'm guessing. Although it is beautiful.
It's a nice evening.
Isn't it?
It really is.
So nice. Let's hear a word from Fleming.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I tried looking it up. I believe our heat timeout, this may be the coolest heat timeout we've ever had. 77 beautiful degrees here on Slaughter Road.
Yeah, at least the coolest in mid-October.
A short end-over-end kick that is muffed, but then scooped up by Mario Brewer up to around the 30-yard line and then driven along the far sideline and out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, our third possession of quarter number 1, but trailing it now 6-0. Let's see what kind of answer that Carson has. Carson Crehan is our senior quarterback. This is someone that last year completed 67% of his passes and threw over 2,300 yards for Madison Academy last year. Handoff to the tailback. Busting right up his Cherry. Cherry with a hole. Cherry's gone. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10. Has a man to beat. He beat him. Touchdown Mustangs. How's that for an answer?
That's amazing.
70 yards. Ken Cherry wearing KD's old number. How about that?
That's pretty good. And remember, Steve, this is the first time we've seen him in a while. He went out last season, early in the season, with an injury. And to see that kind of speed on a touch tonight, because you always wonder how it's going to impact you. Take this play.
Snap, set, kick on the way. High enough, long enough. You bet. Madison Academy trailed it for maybe about a grand total 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Mustangs lead it now 7-6 over Deschler. Now this from Baumhauer.
Hey there, folks. Head fry cook Bob Baumhauer here, and I just want to say thank you for allowing Baumhauer's Victory Grill to serve you for 40 legendary years. When I first delivered Alabama's first taste of buffalo wings back in 1981, people thought I was crazy. For the first few years, I had to give wings away. Imagine that. 40 years later, I'm still proud to serve the great people and visitors of Alabama our famous buffalo wings and much more. Here's to 40 years of legendary fun, legendary food, and many, many more.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, there's a bolt of lightning, don't you think? Now, there is some confusion here. I think we lined up on the wrong end. Yeah. Well, we need to go the other way, guys. I guess it's the first game for a lot of folks out there, especially when you play special teams. I have been given an update that Buckhorn is going to kick at 7:40 tonight, and so you've got a little bit more time here with us.
Well, like I said,
you're
usually,
speechless. You're speechless.
Well, usually Madison Academy, like I said, kicks off what defends the south end zone.
Yeah.
This is just, it's flipped from the way they normally do it, and I think that's what they were doing. This is where we always go in the first quarter. And anyway, or maybe since they can't see the clock, they forgot what quarter it was.
Still a first quarter in theory. So 2 rushing touchdowns, essentially on back-to-back plays, one for Deschler and one for Madison Academy. Back deep is Blue for the Deschler Tigers in the crimson helmets and the white jerseys. High short kick received up at around the 15-yard line. Angles up along the far hash marks, and Ballou wrestled down at the 21-yard line. And that is where Deschler will take over. 1st and 10. Mustangs leading it 7-6.
I think it's Jack Doyle that went in there and put a lick on him and then kind of bounced off of him. It was either...
that was some mud wrestling right there.
It really was. He was either Doyle or Manley, but it definitely stopped each other in their tracks. Somebody else had to come clean it up. It's still a good pursuit by the Mustangs.
They mark it at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Deschler Tigers as they move right to left across your radio dial. Tight, close veer formation. Under center there is Thornton. Hand off to the tailback, right side of the line. Swallowed up by Maroon Wall. Not much at all. I mean, half of the defense collapsed completely, led by the 10th grader, A.J. Rice. it is good to see a healthy A.J. Rice.
He's a big kid, too.
And 10th grader. A 10th grader.
Oh, man.
Already getting some SEC looks, and he's a 10th grader.
My goodness. Yeah, fun to watch.
Looks like that lost about a half yard. A full 10, we'll say. Back to the 22-yard line. Thornton again under center at his own 22. Looks to his left. Now hands off to his tailback. Over the left side of the line. Driven down. Excellent open field tackle by Manley. That's the second time I've called his name early. It's still a gain of around 3 yards. A nice hole on the left side that was opened up by Josh Smith for Deschler, but a better tackle that time by Manley.
Good to see Manley out there playing football his senior year. He's a baseball player, a really good baseball player.
Well, this really good baseball program here.
Yeah. And,
third down, a full 8 yards to go for the Tigers at their own 25. Let's see if they'll pass here on a passing situation. Rolls to his right, in some trouble. Flag down, fires it. It is, what is it? I'm looking.
Out of bounds, so
it is incomplete. But there is a flag down.
Got to be a hold.
You would think Barry Goodson says holding Deschler. Do you back him up, or do you?
No.
It looks like they're backing him up.
I don't think so. Maybe
he's looking right at Bob Godsey, and nope, he says no, I'm good.
I'm not going to back him up. You got a fourth down,
so
you're about to get the football. I'm with you. I think Bob's got a lot of confidence in his team, but all it takes is giving him one more chance on a pass play, and you could walk away from that one looking pretty silly.
So now here on this the third punt. Etienne and Brewer have flipped spots, and Mario Brewer is now standing at our own 45-yard line. It's a low snap, kick is away, shorter kick. It finally bounces and rolls into Mustang territory before it cradles dead at the 47. 7-6 is your score. Mustangs with the lead in the football. Our fourth possession of quarter number one. I am assuming we are in the waning moments of this first quarter. We do not have a scoreboard after a power glitch at around 6:15 this evening. But it certainly has not dampened the spirits at all of either of these squads playing excellent football. 1st and 10 at the Madison Academy 47. Crehan in the shotgun. Crehan hands it off to the tailback, and then hog-tied and driven down in the backfield is Josh Williams. Good open field tackle that time by C.J. Jackson.
Josh may be one of those guys that can be another Stokes eventually. He looks a lot like Stokes.
Yeah.
But you got to give him some room to run. You got to open up hole for him and not let the defender get in there.
Had 371 yards at the tailback position last year. 2nd and 10, and a timeout, or is this into quarter? No, a timeout is taken. Mustangs lead at 7-6. It'll be 2nd and 10 after this word from North Alabama Mortgage.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Hey there, folks. Head fry cook Bob Baumhauer here, and I just want to say thank you for allowing Baumhauer's Victory Grill to serve you for 40 legendary years. When I first delivered Alabama's first taste of buffalo wings back in 1981, people thought I was crazy. For the first few years, I had to give wings away. Imagine that. 40 years later, I'm still proud to serve the great people and visitors of Alabama, our famous buffalo wings, and much more. Here's to 40 years of legendary fun, legendary food, and many, many more.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Carson Crehan loses the football after gaining about 15 yards, and it's turned over to Deschler. A wet football turns into the second turnover of this first quarter, which incidentally, we're at the 3-minute and 30-second mark of quarter number one. Wow.
Man, hard to walk back to the sidelines after that one.
I'm not sure that was a designed quarterback run, but Crehan looked like bounced the football off his left knee pad and lost the handle of it and slipped right through the breadbasket. So turnover number 2, hopefully it's not as costly as turnover number 1, which yielded a touchdown for Deschler. 7-6 your score. Madison Academy leads it, but it is Tiger football. 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Thornton under center, hands it off to the fullback, right up the gut on the dive, up to around the 35-yard line for a gain of around 6 yards there. Good solid play, and that was anchored there by Walter Goggins, a senior offensive lineman that opened up a big hole. So 2nd and 4 for Deschler. Mustangs, incidentally, in a 3-man defensive front. As Thornton again under center, barks out the call. Handoff to the tailback, running left to right, looks for a lane. It is covered up, and they're doing the stopping is Dalen Johnson, the senior defensive lineman. Boy, he looked fast right there.
Yeah, that play looked to me like it just took a long time to develop.
A lot of east and west.
Yeah, Ballou really, he really hesitated before going back that on his reverse. And, I don't know, Mustang's able to pursue pretty easily.
3rd down, and a good solid 4 yards to go. Thornton again under center. Little end around action, and he is going nowhere. It's Fuqua.
I tell you, I'm loving watching Manley.
Yeah, that was Manley again.
Well, no, he didn't make tackle, but he was there to clean it up.
Yes, and, at the end of it.
At the end of it. Beautiful job to watch this young man develop into an outstanding free safety.
So the second turnover yields a 3 and out. That's a gold star defensively for this maroon and gold defense of Madison Academy. Again, Buckhorn in a weather delay. They are slated to start around 7:40, which is about 10 minutes away. Punt formation here. Brewer deep to receive. So is Etienne. Then calling for the fair catch, losing it, and then covering it up is Mario Brewer. This after Etienne.
Boy, it looked like there was contact down there to me. I guess there wasn't. The official was right on it.
But nonetheless, the Mustangs cover it up. I assume we're under 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Mustangs lead it 7-6 here at Bill Washington Stadium. Along with Glenn Laird, Steve Moulton here with you. You can hear this full game, incidentally, on Zone 2. Randolph is at West Morgan, rather. That is over on Zone 3. Download the app today. Crehan in the shotgun, 3-4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side. Ball in the middle of the field. Back to pass, looks left, fires left. It is complete to Brewer. Brewer up to midfield. Brewer in Deschler territory. Brewer driven down at the 39-yard line. That is a 26-yard pickup for Mario Brewer.
I tell you again, Mario Brewer, the coaches love to talk about this kid, not just because of his athletic ability, but the way that he prepares for a game. Great attitude, he really does what it takes both on and off the field to prepare for an opponent, and it's fun to watch that kid when he gets the ball.
We're heading towards that south end zone again along the far hash marks on 1st and 10. Crehan in trouble. Oh. He is sacked in the backfield. A delay blitz that time. Malone came darting in for Deschler, and it worked to perfection. That's a loss of around 6 yards back to the Deschler 46-yard line, excuse me.
Crehan did a pretty good job get up off the turf after that one. that was he got hammered pretty hard by two guys who went up high anticipating a pass and then came down on top of him.
2 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. It is second and very long. Crehan hands it off to Cherry, bounces it out right side of the line, carries a couple of Tigers with him up to around the 40-yard line. That's a 6-yard pickup, nearly got what we lost. It is third and a long 10, a short 11. You take the pick.
That may be the best run from scrimmage that we've had so far tonight.
Well, Ken Cherry?
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
70 yards kind of stands out,
You're
doesn't
right.
it?
You're right.
Third and a long 10 from the Deschler 40-yard line. Crehan in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers set. Looks right, has time, rolls to his right, has all day, fires it and flings it. It is caught at around the 26-yard line.
Bobkowski.
That is Bobkowski again.
I just like saying that name.
And he was he was a guy on last year's squad that pays his dues on the practice field, and it's paying off right here out of the gate in week 0. That's a first down, incidentally, for Bobkowski.
And second really significant play for him.
Mm-hmm. That was a third down conversion of more than 10 yards. That picked up around 14. Crehan in the shotgun. Hands it off. No, he's going to keep it himself and barrels over a would-be tackler. Into the red zone we go, down to around the 18-yard line for a solid pickup of around 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 3. There in at the tailback position is Josh Williams behind Crehan in the pistol. Hand off to Williams. Dances his way to the 15 before cradled down there by Fuqua.
Hey, great job by Madison Academy. They had a blitz on that time, and that's the hole they went through.
Yep.
I mean, they saw that gap on the left side of center because of the blitzer, and able to pick up a nice gain.
We're in the waning moments, I would assume, of quarter number 1, but it's 1st and 10 for Madison Academy at the Deschler 14-yard line, and the officials are looking at their clocks, and that'll do it. 1 quarter in the books. Madison Academy leads it 7-6 right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's time for Buckhorn High School football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Bucks football is presented by hometown lenders of Hazel Green, local agent Logan Hoffman, the Stultz Group at Amanda Howard Sotheby's International Realty. Bucks football is also brought to you by Buckhorn Youth Sports, Joseph Carter Realty, local agent David Norwood, TOC, the Orthopedic Center, Alpha Insurance, local agent Joe David Cantrell, and by Remax Real Estate, the Sheila Swaim team. Now, let's head to the field.
Worth the wait, but we are ready to get football started here in about 6 or 8 minutes, about 8 minutes or so till kickoff here at Ledbetter Stadium in Newmarket, in a beautiful setting for a game tonight. We did have a weather delay, did not have a lot of rain. The field is in incredible condition. We did not have very much rain, but there was some lightning in the area, and we had quite a bit of wind. All of that has calmed down. The stands have filled up. John, there's a big crowd here on the home side for sure, and more folks for Madison County are coming in as Madison County comes in 5-5 last year. Buckhorn also 5-5 last year. Madison County made it to the 4A playoffs, lost a tight one in the 4A playoffs last year, and Buckhorn looking to get into the playoffs, but we're getting ready. The festivities are over. We're getting ready for football.
Yeah, it's time for football here in Newmarket, Alabama, Tom. Yeah. And, I mean, the rainbow's gone, but the lights are on.
That was a nice rainbow.
It was a double rainbow.
Rainbow.
It was very nice. And I got some good photos. I'll text you one.
Yeah.
But, these two schools about 15 minutes apart. So it's definitely, we should have a good crowd on both sides of the stadium. So
about 8 miles, I think, right?
Yeah, 8 miles.
As the crow flies, about 8 miles between these two schools. And by the way, those of you that were just listening to the Madison Academy game, if you want to listen to that game, all you do is go over to Zone 2, all right? Get the app, have the app, or listen on your computer. You go over to Zone 2, and you'll be able to listen to that game. If you want to hear Randolph playing West Morgan, that is on Zone 3. But we've got our game here getting ready to kick off as both teams are on the field now. It was interesting. They did a senior night type thing. I've never seen that at the beginning of the season. Maybe Coach Matt Patterson just wanted to get it out of the way and now be done with it. But it is, it took a moment. All the seniors from the band, the ROTC, the football team, I think, some of the senior citizens, everybody got introduced.
I was waiting for you to go down the field.
Yeah, so I thought I was going to get called down there.
Something else that was interesting to me, I don't recall it, and you've been around football all your life. Maybe you've seen something, but with the national anthem, and maybe this is just something new that I'm not aware of, but both bands were on the field playing the national anthem. So obviously there's a little more love between the bands than there are between the football players.
Oh, well, I've seen that before, especially in college. You'll see the bands sometimes in college with one on one end of the field, one on the other, especially if it's a neutral site type game. But it was very nice. It was great. And, of course, the Buckhorn Band is outstanding. I mean, they have a reputation of being great. I was here the other day doing some site work, which apparently didn't help much, but I was here. And when I came in, the drum lines were working, doing their thing. And the Buckhorn percussion unit is outstanding. I mean, really, really good. And you know how I'm a sucker for a drum line.
Oh, back when we were working together on the air, we used to play drum lines all the time on Football Friday. So,
yeah, no, it's good stuff. That's for sure. We did, in case you missed it, we did give you the Stultz Group Realty starting lineups earlier. We gave you the Buckhorn offense, some of the notes on the defense. The teams are in warm-ups on the field now, and they're going to have they got 5.5 minutes on the clock, but we'll see how long they let them have. I got a feeling they're going to give them a little bit of time to do these warm-ups as the Buckhorn captains are ready to go out on the field for the coin toss, and they're just going to have to get the Madison County captains out there as well. But when we look at this defense up front, it starts at one defensive end with a 6'3", 220-pounder, Tyler Long. He is a junior. And anchoring the middle into nose spot is 6'1", 275-pound freshman Ian Harrell. Freshman. 15 years old, all right? And Ian Harrell going to be anchoring things there in the middle of that line. And that's going to be kind of fun to watch him. He's already gotten some notice from some colleges around the SEC.
I mean, wait till he grows up.
I mean, who knows how big he could be. I mean, he's going to be a big kid. Colton Madera is the other defensive end. He is 5'10", 220 pounds. We'll also see Jack Edwards at that star linebacker spot. Jordan Edwards, I should say. He's 5'11", 175 pounds. Harlan Pitts in the will linebacker spot is 6'1", 200 pounds. I say will, Jack, star, it doesn't matter. They're linebackers. They're going to be interchangeable. They're going to move around into different positions. I don't want to get overly coachy. But there is a young man, a sophomore, that'll be starting at the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker spot in this 3-4 defense, and it is Cohen Fielder. He is 6'2", 190 pounds, and a young kid. Right up the middle, freshman nose and a sophomore Mike linebacker. It may take their lumps a little bit to get going, but this is something that bodes well for the future.
It does bode well for the future, Tom. It's something to build on, and it starts all right here tonight. But, yeah, very, very young team, very young team. Be interesting to see how they handle the pressure of this first game.
Andy McGrady is a junior linebacker, 5'9", 185 pounds. He gets to start at one quarter. It will be senior Barry Pension. Barry is 5'8", 135 pounds.
My kind of guy.
Your kind of guy. I mean, but he's got about an 85-pound heart, and we'll see him returning kicks and doing those types of things as well. But, wow, it's going to be fun to watch number one out there a little bit. We will see Tamir Robinson as well. He's 5'11", and 160 pounds. He is a sophomore. At the other corner starting will be Alex Gilray. Alex is 5'11", 160 pounds, and we'll see him at one quarter spot. Your strong safety is Austin Childress. He is one of the captains out for the kickoff, for the coin toss. He's 6'2", 190-pound junior. And Captain Jordan Curry is also a senior, 5'10", 185-pound. He is the free safety. And who won the coin toss?
Madison County. Well, I would believe that Buckhorn won the toss. It looks like Madison County will be receiving the ball. So that young defense we're talking about is going to get a test right away.
It's interesting that Matt kick off. Won the toss. Go ahead and defer. He normally, but he said that if he were to win the toss tonight, that they would kick off to get this game started, and it looks like that's the way it's going to happen here tonight. The officials are at midfield. The lights are now starting to take effect. It is a beautiful setting here. I've been coming here now for the last couple of weeks, watching practice and so on. You worked here in the past on PA. But, man, when you look out, first of all, the school is absolutely gorgeous. You see the softball field, but the mountains in the distance, just absolutely gorgeous to see the hills in the distance here in New